You can watch the match on NBCSN or Tennis Channel. First set. Nadal served first on a cool and windy day. The rain held off for the start of the match. The first game took about 8 minutes. Federer earned his first break point with a backhand cross-court winner at 30-30. But he netted a backhand return on a Nadal serve out wide. Missed breakpoint opportunities are a stat to watch for Federer. The women's semifinals were wrapped up just as Federer and Nadal started to warm up. Ashley Barty, the number 8 seed from Australia, defeated the 17-year-old American Amanda Anisimova, 6-2-7, 4, 6-2-3, 6-2-3, on Suzanne Lenglen court. And Markéta Vondrousová, an unseeded 19-year-old from the Czech Republic, beat number 26 Johanna Konta from Britain on Simone Matthew court, 7-5, 7-6, 2. Saturday's final will be the first Grand Slam singles final for both women. The players have walked onto Philippe Chatrier court, which is surprisingly not yet full for the most highly anticipated match of the tournament. Nadal will serve first. Other tennis players have faced each other more, but there is no rivalry in the sport like Roger Federer versus Rafael Nadal. Federer, the 37-year-old right-hander from Switzerland, has won 20 Grand Slam singles titles, a record for men. Nadal, the 33-year-old left-hander from Spain, is second with 17. Their contrast in styles, their classic matches, their camaraderie have divided fan bases and electrified their sport since they first played 15 years ago. Who knows how many more times they will square off on the Grand Slam stage. Friday's meeting will be their 39th career match, but their first in about 18 months. They have not faced one another at Roland Garros in 8 years. All of Wednesday's matches were postponed because of rain, causing a logjam of singles matches. Normally, only the men's singles semifinals are played on this day at the French Open. But because of the rain out, the women's singles semifinals are taking place as I type this. While the men are on the main Philippe Chatrier court, the women were relegated to 2 smaller stadiums, angering the WTA. But one of the reasons for the unusual court assignments is the weather. There has been a light drizzle, not enough to stop play on clay, but rain is in the forecast until 3 p.m. local time, and high winds are expected later in the day. It is practice to not start a clay court match if it is raining. In order for the tournament to finish on schedule on Sunday, officials would like all 4 semifinals to be completed Friday. The women's matches are particularly important to finish because the final is supposed to be Saturday. The tournament would also like both men's finalists to have a day of rest before Sunday's final. Nadal has won 11 French Opens, so it is not a surprise to see him in the semifinals at Roland Garros. But according to his coach, Carlos Moya, Nadal hit a low point in March after he had to withdraw from his semi-final against Federer at the BNP Paribas Open in Indian Wells, California, because of a recurrence of knee tendinitis. Moya told The Times' Christopher Clarey that it took several weeks for Nadal to recover his optimism. When the tour moved to Europe for the clay court season, a time when Nadal usually rakes up titles, he kept losing in the semifinals. It wasn't about the errors, it was the attitude, Moya said. It's something you do not often see in him, negativity. But after lots of team discussions and a few heart-to-hearts, Moya said, Nadal won the Italian Open, his first title of the year. He is on a 10-match winning streak. Read more from Christopher Clarey's interview with Carlos Moya. Nadal has lost their last 5 meetings and has not defeated Federer at a major since the 2014 Australian Open. But they haven't played each other on clay where Nadal is king since May 2013. Nadal holds a 23-15 head-to-head edge over Federer, largely because of his 13-2 mark on clay. Federer has never beaten him at the French Open in 5 tries, and has won only 4 of the 19 sets they have played at Roland Garros. Nadal's 6-1, 6-3, 6-0 destruction of Federer in 2008 was one of the most lopsided major men's finals in history. And, by the way, Nadal has never lost a semi-final to anyone at the French Open. So, yeah, Federer is the underdog. Read the Times coverage of their previous 5 French Open matches. Of Federer's 20 Grand Slam titles, only one came at Roland Garros, in 2009, and he didn't have to beat Nadal to do it. Nadal had lost in the 4th round to Robin Soderling, whom Federer defeated in the final. Nadal has been a constant roadblock for Federer on clay, but despite that, Federer has the 3rd best winning percentage on the surface among active players. It's easy to forget that when fans have not seen Federer playing on clay very often of late. He pulled out of the 2016 French Open before it started because of an injury and he hadn't been back until this year. He skipped the clay court season entirely the past 3 years to preserve his body and prepare for his favorite surface, grass. I feel now I can play pressure-free, because what is there to lose? Nothing really, Federer told Christopher Clarey before his clay season began. I haven't played on clay for 3 years, so maybe for the first time in 15 years I can go to the French and be like, let's just see what happens. And maybe that's exactly what is going to make a beautiful result. And if it's not, no problem.